Imagine holding the perfect notebook, one that exudes power, prestige, and success. Now picture handing a client a cheap, flimsy paper that screams unprofessionalism. Which one do you think makes an impact? In the world of luxury stationery, details matter. Successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, and industry leaders all understand that high-quality paper isn't just paper, it's a statement. But what if I told you that one small upgrade in your stationery could change the way people perceive you forever? Stay with us as we uncover how premium paper can open doors to success. The texture of success. In 2018, Sophia Lane, a young wedding planner in Venice, struggled to attract luxury clients. Her brochures were beautiful but printed on plain, glossy paper, nothing special. One day, she attended a bridal expo and noticed how clients admired velvet-textured invitations and handmade cotton paper. Inspired, she redesigned her stationery using silk finish paper, embossed lettering, and linen-textured envelopes. When she sent a handcrafted wedding proposal to Isabella Romano, a billionaire's daughter, Isabella was impressed by the elegant feel and personal touch. Within days, Sophia secured a €500,000 wedding project. By 2021, she became a top luxury event planner. Always saying, people don't just see luxury, they feel it. Letter that changed everything in 2020. Daniel Hayes, a young investment consultant in London, struggled to land major clients. He sent proposals and introduction letters, but most went unanswered. His documents were printed on standard paper, enclosed in cheap envelopes that made no lasting impression. One day, at a networking event, he handed his proposal to Victoria Lawson, a top hedge fund manager. She barely glanced at it and placed it among a pile of others. Daniel noticed that another consultant gave her a letter in a high-end envelope with an embossed logo and gold-edged letterhead. She took a moment to admire it before opening it immediately. Realizing the power of presentation, Daniel invested in premium letterheads with textured finishes, custom wax-sealed envelopes, and his initials embossed in silver foil. The next time he sent a proposal, the response was different. James Whitaker, a millionaire investor, called him personally and said, "Your presentation caught my eye before I even read a word." Within a week, Daniel secured a £1.2 million investment deal. By 2023, Daniel was managing funds for some of the biggest names in finance. He always told young entrepreneurs, "Your first impression isn't your pitch, it's the envelope that carries it." The power of perfect colors. In 2021, Lucas Bennett, a young interior designer in Milan, struggled to attract high-end clients. His presentations were detailed, but his stationery and branding felt inconsistent. His business cards were blue, his letterheads were gray, and his website had a mix of colors that didn't match his elegant style. One day, he met Elena Rossi, a luxury brand consultant. She examined his portfolio and said, "Your designs are flawless, but your brand is confused. You need harmony in your colors." She showed him examples of top-tier brands like Louis Vuitton and Dior, whose color palettes were consistent across all platforms. Taking her advice, Lucas redesigned his stationery using a soft ivory base with deep emerald green, a color that reflected sophistication. His business cards, envelopes, and presentation folders all followed the same cohesive palette. A month later, he presented a proposal to Mr. Giovanni Moretti, a well-known real estate developer. Moretti held his business card, admired the elegance, and said, "This attention to detail tells me you understand luxury." Within a week, Lucas secured a €750,000 interior design project. By 2023, Lucas had built a prestigious design firm, always reminding his team, colors aren't just shades, they are a statement of who you are. The shine of success. In 2019, Olivia Harper, a young fashion designer in Paris, struggled to attract elite clients. She sent out invitations for her debut fashion show, but responses were minimal. Her invitations were printed on plain white paper, lacking charm. One day, she visited Madame Laurent, a legendary designer. Madame Laurent examined Olivia's invitation and said, "It's simple, but where's the elegance?" She showed Olivia an old invite from a Chanel event, black paper with gold foil details that shimmered under the light. "Luxury is in the details," she advised. Inspired, Olivia redesigned her stationery using gold foil accents, embossed logos, and textured cardstock. When she sent out the new invitations, the response was overwhelming. Dozens of industry icons, including Anna Bellucci, a famous fashion editor, attended her show. By 2022, Olivia's brand had become a global name. She always credited her breakthrough to that one change. A touch of gold doesn't just decorate, it elevates. The Notebook of Opportunity in 2016. Ethan Clark, a young journalist in New York, dreamed of writing for a top publication. He carried a standard spiral notebook to interviews, jotting down notes in a rush. But editors often dismissed him, seeing him as just another rookie. One day, he met Margaret Reynolds, a veteran journalist at a press event. She noticed his worn-out notebook and said, "Presentation matters as much as the story itself." She pulled out a leather-bound notebook, its pages thick and elegant. "Clients, editors, they take you seriously when you look serious," she advised. Ethan took her words to heart. He invested in a handcrafted leather-bound notebook with his initials embossed in gold. The next time he interviewed James Whitmore, a billionaire entrepreneur, James glanced at the notebook and smirked. "You must be a serious writer," he said. This small impression led to an exclusive story offer. Within a year, Ethan's articles were published in the New York Times. And by 2021, he had won a Pulitzer Prize. He always told young writers, "A great story starts with great notes." And great notes deserve a notebook that commands respect. The Pen of Success in 2018. Jacob Foster, a young lawyer in Chicago, struggled to impress high-profile clients. Despite his sharp legal skills, he felt overlooked in meetings. His notes were scribbled with basic ballpoint pens, and his contracts lacked the finesse of a seasoned professional. One day, during a corporate negotiation, he noticed Mr. Howard Grayson, a senior attorney, signing documents with an elegant Mont-Blanc fountain pen. The pen's smooth ink flow and sophisticated design commanded attention. After the meeting, Jacob asked him about it. Grayson smiled and said, "A premium pen isn't just for writing, it's a statement." Inspired, Jacob invested in a luxury writing instrument, a gold-trimmed Parker Duofold. The first time he used it to sign a contract, the client noticed. "That's a fine pen," the client remarked, admiring the craftsmanship. The conversation shifted from business to attention to detail. And soon, Jacob secured a $500,000 legal deal. By 2023, Jacob had built a reputation for excellence, not just in law, but in presentation. He always said, "Your pen is more than a tool. It reflects your standards." The power of personal touch in 2015. Michael Bennett, a young financial consultant in London, struggled to stand out in a competitive market. He sent out proposals and thank-you letters, but clients rarely responded. His stationery was generic, plain white paper with a basic font. One day, he met Richard Collins, a retired businessman known for mentoring young professionals. Richard glanced at Michael's proposal and said, "It's professional, but forgettable. Make it personal." Taking his advice, Michael invested in personalized stationery. He ordered monogrammed letterheads, gold embossed business cards, and custom envelopes with a wax seal featuring his initials. His handwritten notes on elegant paper gave a sense of exclusivity. A week later, he sent a proposal to Emily Harper, a high-net-worth client. This time, instead of tossing it aside, Emily admired the personalized details. "This feels tailored just for me," she thought. She signed a £250,000 contract within days. By 2020, Michael had built a multi-million-dollar consultancy. Looking back, he always said, "Success isn't just in the numbers, it's in the details. A personal touch makes all the difference." The secret of elegant designs in 2002. A young architect named Sophia Reed launched her design firm in Los Angeles. She was passionate about modern aesthetics, but despite her talent, she struggled to attract high-end clients. Her business cards and letterheads were plain, lacking personality. One day, she attended an exclusive networking event, hoping to impress potential investors. She handed her simple, mass-printed business card to Mr. Jonathan Blake, a renowned real estate developer. He glanced at it and smiled politely but showed little interest. Later, Sophia noticed how he admired another guest's uniquely designed business card, sleek, embossed, and stylish. That moment changed everything. Determined to elevate her brand, Sophia hired a luxury stationery designer. She chose minimalist yet elegant designs, incorporating gold foil accents in a soft matte finish. Her letterheads featured subtle embossing, and her envelopes had a refined texture. At her next meeting, she handed her redesigned business card to Ms. Victoria Hayes, a famous interior designer. Victoria ran her fingers over the embossed logo and nodded in approval. "This speaks of quality," she said. Within a week, Sophia received a $100,000 project offer. By 2010, her firm became a leader in luxury architecture. She always credited her success to a simple realization: design isn't just about what you create, it's also about how you present it. The power of premium paper. In 1985, a young entrepreneur named Daniel Carter started his small design studio in New York City. He had big dreams but a limited budget. To save costs, he used ordinary paper for his business proposals. Despite his impressive designs, clients often overlooked his work. One day, Mr. Harrison, a well-known investor, visited Daniel's office. He picked up one of Daniel's proposals but frowned as he flipped through the pages. "Your ideas are brilliant," he said, "but this paper, it feels cheap." He placed the proposal back on the table and left without another word. Realizing his mistake, Daniel decided to invest in high-quality paper. He spent $500 on premium textured sheets, embossed with his studio's logo. His next proposal, printed on luxurious paper, landed in the hands of Ms. Evelyn Parker, a high-profile client. She ran her fingers over the fine texture and smiled. "This feels professional," she said. Within a week, she signed a $50,000 contract with him. Word spread quickly about Daniel's attention to detail. By 1990, his design studio had grown into one of the most sought-after firms in the city. He learned that quality paper isn't just paper, it's an experience, a statement of professionalism. Years later, when mentoring young designers, Daniel always shared the lesson he had learned: first impressions matter. High-quality paper can open doors that talent alone sometimes cannot. Now you know why investing in high-quality paper isn't just a choice, it's a game changer. If you want to elevate your office, impress clients, and stand out, don't settle for average. Speaking of luxury, have you ever wondered which high-end bedding brand truly delivers? Check out our next video, Fret vs. Sfera. Which luxury bedding brand should you choose? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on how to bring elegance and success into your life. See you in the next one.